had spotty showers since about 7 a.m. here in D.C., and the radar indicates it's going to continue, but nothing to stop football from happening at FedEx Field. They love their football in this part of the country, and this crowd is ready to go as their guys will match up with the Detroit Lions. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season. Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. They'll run for the first time with DeAndre Swift. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. Here's a handoff to Swift. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
So, Charles, you talk about this head coach, and let's face it, this season certainly has not gone the way many had expected or at least hoped. And I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier this week.
Yeah, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Chase Young drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up fourth down. On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Fielded just inside the 20. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. On play action, they'll throw. Finding Gaskin underneath. That catch good for only a couple.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, they've got his man complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
And he's going to get this inside the 30.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
They go play action here on first down. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got it. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin with touchdown number 8 on the year. And Washington has taken a first-quarter lead. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Taken in at the 3. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
3-2, their record through the first 5 games of the year as they got the victory last week. It's still early, just October, but what have you seen from these guys so far?
Well, what I've seen is a team that's still figuring out all their pieces because they've got some new faces from a year ago, add in some new draft picks. Sometimes it takes a month or so before you really start to gel as a team and for those players to figure out their roles. But right now, I see them starting to elevate.
He takes this for 3 to the 29.
You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind.
And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Chase Young picks up his second sack of the afternoon. Here's Jack Fox now
as he'll punt it away for the second time. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lock behind it. Wow.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in this 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right?
Under pressure, and down he goes. Trey Flowers. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And it looked like he got the feet down, did he? Yes, it's a catch. A huge play there for Washington. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
To the right side and complete to Thomas. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
Back to throw again.
Looking and finding Thomas in the end zone. Touchdown, Washington.
Michael Thomas with touchdown number 8 on the year.
And Washington is able to stretch their lead.
Hopkins with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Deron Payne, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope and it's hard to stop the fall. I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still going to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
It'll be a gain of 3, and it also takes us to the end of the first quarter of play. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And getting our first update now from Nashville. The Dolphins have jumped out to an early lead in their ball game. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. They go play action. Rivers. And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
7 yards to go.
The Lions on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, Rivers. They'll find Swift out of the backfield. And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And in for the Lions, touchdown.
Well, and this is where quarterbacks' passing numbers sometimes get a little bit more inflated than they should because this is a short little pass, but it goes for big yardage.
Oh, how about this? No good. Just his 2nd miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Take it in at the 3. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we...
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Gary and Conley.
And the Lions are going to take over at their own 30-yard line.
Well, he's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45.
And time to give some credit to the big fellows, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes because you got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Right back to Swift again on second down.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30.
43 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Rivers. Flush to his right. Now a hit, and Rivers lost the football.
And it's Washington that scoops it up.
And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that.
And that is caught at the 10-yard line. Touchdown, Washington!
He's been doing this for a lot of years with the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-6. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. On 1st down, Swift, and he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. And he's going to be stopped close to the 1st down marker at Washington's 12-yard line.
It's 44. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard. Rivers.
And that's out to the flat for Swift. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 29-yard line. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They've given up a few 1st downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
On 2nd down, Swift.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On 3rd down, Rivers.
They're looking for Godwin, but it's intercepted.
Picked off by Troy Apke. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line.
Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm. Slings this deep for McLaurin, and that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
He certainly had a good game throwing the ball so far, but I think he was trying to take that from good to great with that throw, trying to get one downfield.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll set up to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
So on 4th down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This is taken at the 10. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive
as they take over with exactly 1 minute to go here before intermission.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. This one caught. It's the tight end, Hockenson. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A first down throw here for Rivers. He's got a man as his fullback. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Rivers.
That's into a crowd and intercepted.
Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half.
Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on, his teammates going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen.
That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Hopkins' kick is good. And that will make this now an 18-point ball game.
So not the greatest of first halves for him, but a little ray of light here at the end. The late turnover becomes 3 points before the break.
Well, they certainly needed something positive to go their way. Maybe 3 points doesn't seem like a huge deal in the grand scheme of things, but at least it's something to build on as they head into the half.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit.
This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Washington! Terry McLaurin, his third touchdown of the game, 10th on the year.
And Washington able to stretch that lead out even further.
Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Right back to Swift again on second down.
And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Jamin Davis drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up 4th down.
Here comes the Lions punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taken in at the 22, and he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. Officially, that'll be a 63-yard punt. Well done. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now a play fake here on 1st down.
They'll get this out wide to Gaskin.
And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
They'll roll him out right. Slings this deep from McLaurin. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown! Terry McLaurin, 66 yards.
And this Washington offense continuing to add to their lead.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. He got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. To throw is Rivers. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They're indeed going for it. It's Rivers. And It's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out.
And Washington will take control of the football in great field position.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Back to throw here. Flushed out right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. The play action fake. They'll look to throw.
He wants it all for the end zone. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin,
36 yards.
and the Washington offense just continuing to pour it on.
Hopkins with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got him in trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
Chase Young
Able to record his 5th sack of the season. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Rivers to throw it.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far.
Picked up by Troy Apke.
And he will bring this one back. It is a pick 6 for a Washington touchdown.
This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And the lead will swell by 1 more. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Fielded just outside the goal line.
And all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football.
And it's Washington that scoops it up.
And they're already in the red zone. The 18-yard line is where they take over.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Julian Okwara
in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Looking to throw. Under pressure, they got him again. The D-tackle, Sheldon Richardson, came barreling in for the sack. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. They'll set up a throw.
He's going to let this go for the end zone.
And this is going to be intercepted.
Picked up by Afitu Melifonwu. And the Lions are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a give, right side. Odom. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Now Rivers. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Troy Apke. And it's a big turnover there on the final play of the quarter. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. On the handoff, it's Gaskin. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
Another run with Gaskin. A pretty nice, strong run, but can't break away. Down just inside the 30. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5. On play action, they'll throw. Letting one go deep for the end zone. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, 28 yards.
And the interception by the Washington defense leads to a touchdown.
Hopkins with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Yeah, they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
On 1st and 10, Rivers. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Another 13 yards there twice in a row, and they're on the move. Another 1st down as well. To throw, Rivers.
And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home.
The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9. Throwing on 2nd and long. Rivers. That is caught. It's Chris Godwin. Touchdown, Detroit.
Chris Godwin.
His 3rd touchdown now on the year.
And the Lions get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit.
And that is off the left upright. It's no good. boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. From the 6. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Looking long for Thomas. Well, the defense loses him. It's complete. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. On is Hopkins now for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now. And if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Here's Rivers. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. Gaskin again on 2nd down. Room to run for Gaskin. And down right around the 37. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Washington, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Houston Texans next week. Meanwhile, for the Lions, it's loss number 3 for them.